Based on the Statistics Department, which shows 72.10% of CJ pelajaran Malaysia school level do not want to pursue their studies, said Datuk Seri Dr. Adham Baba, Science, Technology and Innovation Minister. The Statistics Development released a report stating that about 300,000 out of 560,000 SPM candidates prefer to join the workforce after the SPM examination. The amount of students who are keen to pursue their studies is only 170,000 students. The reason why high school graduates are interested to further studies. The study conducted in 2019 cites three main reasons for the lack of interest among the 17 and 18 years old job opportunities in the gig economy. Interest in becoming social media influencer, an impression that continuing their study will not prefer their better job, will not prefer and guarantee better job. The effect on this issue on government. MPC's Development, Productivity and Competitiveness Division Director Muhammad Muzaffar Abdul Hamid said the survey involves respondents aged 15 to 64 to find out the educational achievement and performance of the Malaysian public. Speaking to Berita Harian, he said the findings were worrying and he fears the high percentage of students that were not interested in furthering their study after SPL will have an impact on the country's productivity, especially when job opportunities are not filled by local youth. Besides that, the survey also found that a worrying 5.8% of Malaysians have never attended a complete school. We believe that this group of people who do not go to school consists of individuals from poor family or orang asli community in Sabah and Sarawak, he told Berita Harian. As a result, in the future, many low-skilled workers in the workforce will cause a decrease in the nation's productivity, innovation and competitiveness. This will cause difficulties in creating new job opportunities and will have an impact on low-wage workers. Compared to a highly skilled workforce, it will offer higher wage while boosting productivity innovation. The brief explanation on how to encourage students to further study. The ministry must carry out personal development and career education plan in school to increase student awareness toward the importance of education while was equipping them with knowledge, skill and interest for future career. The counseling teacher also need to be briefed on the latest career trend given their roles in advising secondary school students on possible future career goals. The ministry should taking other steps like organizing career program in cooperation with public and private university as well as government agency with scholarship and student loans.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Fatim Farhana binti Muhammad Fauzi. Today I'm going to talk about planning the issue. Planning means is one process of identifying the objective of an organization, coming up with a plan to achieve the objective, and creating a thorough hierarchy of plans to organize and integrate various tasks. The most fundamental managerial task is planning. When carried out correctly, it establishes the guidelines for the leading, controlling, and organizing roles. Why planning is important to manage the issue? Planning must be drafted by various parties to ensure that the goals are unquestionably stated in order for them to act as a guide for choosing what action to take and in what direction. When goals are clearly defined, staff members are aware of what the organization must do as well as what they must do to achieve those goals. Planning is also an activity that enables responsible parties to forecast and anticipate changes. Planning identifies the tasks that must be accomplished beforehand and make note of how to handle alteration and unforeseen consequences. And then, uh, planning strategy to manage the issue. The goal for this planning is to ensure all the young generation realize and can benefits for having continuing their studies to higher level as it is crucial for their future. The vision of Ministry Higher Education want to make Malaysia a center of higher education with excellence. And Ministry of Higher Education mission is to create and build a higher institution environment with academic development and excellence. It strives to generate individuals who are competent, innovative, and noble to serve the nation and the world. There are two types of planning. First, strategic planning. The government had implemented their strategic planning by taking the step of funding reforms to solve and manage the issue, thus increasing the chances for students to enroll to higher education institute. These steps had greatly given effects to increase the percentage on settling the issue as stated by MOHE vision and missions. Apart from the strategic planning, the government has also introduced funding reforms in order to develop sustainability in today's competitive environment. University must have strong strategic plans. This concept paper discuss the challenge faces the public university in Malaysia to achieve the government objective as stated in the federal government blueprints. Next part of the plan, the government had developed a functional operational planning as to embrace Industry 4.0 as its major nature of these steps to adapt Malaysian educational system to current technology and advancement. This increased the interest to the young ones in the country as the system provides updated process of teaching and learning. There are two parties that involved in managing the issue. First, the government, and second, the higher education. The federal government stands as the main pillar to ensure that plans to be made public and realize the plans. The government responsible to supervise and strictly monitor the progress their plans to avoid this issue from constantly become major issues. The higher education institute must collaborate with the government to advertise their institution, promising stage to reduce the issue, and eventually our country managed to achieve the MOHE vision and mission. Based on important sectors under the department's jurisdiction, the Department of Higher Education Strategic Plan 2018 until 2022 was created with the goal of ensuring that higher education in Malaysia stays relevant. The next part of the plan will take formulated in support along 10 years, 2015 until 2025, according to Malaysian Education Blueprint. There are four objectives to achieve. First one is to increase the percentage of student enrollment in higher educational institute TVET programs at public university and private JLUs. Second, reinforcement of the management system of higher education. And the third, enhancing the quality of higher education at international standards. And the last one is internationalizing Malaysian higher education. Organizing defines as the way work is arranged and allocated among members of the organization so that the goals of the organization can be effectively achieved. It also can be stated as process assuring that there are physical and human resources to carry out the plans drafted. TVET is technical and vocational education and training afford to give hand-on experience towards students while providing them with professional knowledge in their occupation of choice. Initiating this program, working on advertising this will increase the interest of the student to enroll into higher education as its main objective is to give the student only important subject to acquire. The government has recognized the role that TVET industry plays in producing skilled labor and bringing in money to help Malaysia achieve its objective of turning into a high income country. TVET will be crucial in attracting highly qualified workers due to its capacity to increase the employment rate. TVET has the ability to turn an employee into a business owner, in addition to guaranteeing employment. Lastly, solution to prevent inclined students from pursuing higher education. Young ones needs to be nurtured from earlier stage as it states. Ministry of Education must raise awareness among primary school students on enrollment to HEI. Lack of information is the primary cause on students decided not to enroll. The government need to focus on raising campaign for the student to make sure they have knowledge on benefit on pursuing higher education for their future, such as monthly select teacher or influencer to give talks, to give like motivation to strike the student mind on the crucial point on pursuing higher education. Parents also need to involve and collaborate with the school to make sure the kids does not make the choice not to continue their study as it may affect their future and career. Parents also have every parent have high hopes about their daughter or their son to have the diploma or master in for their better future to apply for their work later.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'm going to present chapter number 4, managing the issue decision making. Definition of decision. The decision is an action taken consciously from various alternatives with the aim of achieving the expected result. The decision making is the process of choosing a logical option from existing options. Where to make a good decision, the individual must go beyond the negative and positive thinking towards a choice made to prioritize the chosen alternative. Next is decision-making strategy. The Ministry of Education must arrange a good strategy to re-engage the interest of students to continue their studies to a higher level. The plan strategy must attract the student, including parents, to help the children continue to study. Regarding this issue, government needs a comprehensive approach from various aspects, such as we can provide a career counseling service at every school. We can also give benefits of higher education. We also can provide financial assistance, including scholarship, zakat, and bank support for deserving students. The importance of decision making is to enable the decision making for the benefits of the nation and the community. We must be aware of the official ways to deal with students who are distracted in pursuing higher education. Encouraging the next generation of leaders of this nation is contingent depending on the government implementing decisions. Consider the certainty, risk, and uncertainty surrounding the scenario involving students and the local community. Next is managing the issue controlling. Definition of controlling. Controlling is a process that determines work, execution, and improvement. The controlling function is part of the systematic management of the implementation of certain tasks. The methodical administration of the execution of certain tasks includes the controlling role. Importance of controlling. Controlling is also necessary for strengthening the nation through the generation of young people who are educated and intellectual that will rule the country in the years to come. According to a Department of Statistics research carried out on July 31, within 319,000 or 72.1% of SPM graduates indicated a desire not to obtain higher education. The tendency will probably remain in 2020 and 2021, regardless the fact that the analysis was collected in 2019. To increase the number of professionals in certain sectors, the government ought to encourage and assist students to pursue higher education so that rather than employing people from outside or abroad, we can produce more professionals to work in our nation. Type of controlling method. There is three distinct type of controlling mechanism such as feedback control, concurrent control, and predictive or feed-forward control can be implemented by the Ministry of Education in order to lower the number of students who do not want to pursue the further education. Other than that, the data provided by the Statistics Department about SPM students who are not interested in pursuing higher education needs to be strictly examined by the government. How Ministry of Education managing the issue of students who decide not to pursue higher education? Majority of Malaysian certificates of education (SPM) holders who remain insufficient to pursue higher education perform this due to the international pandemic known as COVID-19 has caused a negative impact on the nation's economy. By expanding efficient programs that add value with the current work opportunities, Ministry of Education can handle the issue of students in numerous of approaches. It should be versatile, encouraging useful individuals who are pursuing educational pursuit to more effectively control the available time without interfering with the young professional obligation. Apart from that, the government can lower the cost of tuition and provide more flexible, short courses to entice students to keep furthering their studies.
The conclusion is all parties should play an important role on the higher education. Higher education is optional, but to enter a respectable career, one must continue their education in order to achieve his financial or personal goals. Teenagers who attend college use their extensive schooling to further obtain knowledge. The primary objective of higher education is to enhance one's abilities for his future. Moreover, the responsibility in building a child's interest in education starts from when they are young. In the hands of parents, teachers, and any other adults or peers among them. With the lack of concern and support, it is no wonder most of them lose interest in their studies.